Are viruses living or non-living? An intriguing question, isn't it? As we explore this puzzling topic, remember that viruses are unique beings. They exhibit traits characteristic of both the living and the non-living, making it difficult to neatly place them in either category. They are, in essence, acellular particles that blur the line between life and non-life. This mystery sets the stage for today's discussion. So, fasten your seatbelts and prepare for a thrilling ride into the world of viruses. Stay with us as we delve deeper into this fascinating topic. First, let's explore the living characteristics of viruses. Viruses, despite their simplicity, are surprisingly dynamic. One of the strongest arguments for their classification as living beings is their ability to replicate. They can't do it on their own, though. They need to hijack the machinery of a host cell, turning it into a virus-producing factory. This parasitic relationship is one of the many fascinating aspects of viruses. Next, we delve into the presence of nucleic acid in viruses. Much like us, viruses carry genetic material in the form of either DNA or RNA. This genetic material, or nucleic acid, enables viruses to carry information from one generation to the next, a fundamental characteristic of life. The third living characteristic of viruses is their susceptibility to mutation. Viruses mutate rapidly, which allows them to evolve and adapt to new environments. This ability to change and evolve is a hallmark of living organisms and provides viruses with a survival advantage, especially when faced with challenges like a host's immune response or new therapeutic drugs. Lastly, we consider their adaptability to changing environments. Viruses can alter their behavior based on the environment they find themselves in. For instance, they can lay dormant in a host for years, only to erupt when conditions become favorable. These traits certainly make a strong case for viruses being living entities. Now, let's turn our attention to the non-living characteristics of viruses. While viruses share certain characteristics with living organisms, they also exhibit a number of traits that decidedly place them in the realm of the non-living. One of the most prominent of these is the lack of cellular organization. Unlike your typical living cell, viruses do not have a cellular structure. They are acellular, meaning they do not contain cells, and are instead composed of a protein coat surrounding a nucleic acid core. Another non-living characteristic of viruses is their lack of metabolic machinery. This means they do not possess the ability to carry out life-sustaining biochemical reactions on their own. They are entirely dependent on the host cell's metabolic processes for their energy needs. In addition to this, viruses cannot reproduce autonomously. They require a host cell to replicate. This is in stark contrast to living organisms that can reproduce independently. Interestingly, viruses also have the ability to crystallize, a characteristic not shared by living entities. When removed from a host organism and placed in the right conditions, viruses can form orderly, solid structures, much like salt or sugar crystals. Furthermore, viruses are non-responsive to stimuli and do not grow. They are not capable of sensing or responding to their environment in the way that living organisms do. They also do not grow or develop over time. These characteristics make it compelling to consider viruses as non-living. So, are viruses living or non-living? The answer is not straightforward. Let's recap. Viruses show signs of life, like replication and adaptability, yet they also exhibit non-living traits such as a lack of cellular organization and responsiveness to stimuli. This paradoxical nature places viruses on the border of life and non-life, sparking an ongoing debate within the scientific community. While the debate continues, one thing is certain: viruses, living or non-living, possess a unique set of characteristics that make them fascinating to study.